it seems like you have a partner in evaluating what's going on with your body. Because again, massage therapists, you're knowing somebody quite intimately in ways that maybe your parents knew you, that they don't have the fortunate opportunity to know you in that way anymore. Welcome to Coffee Chats Podcast. I am Tahjma VanBuren, and this is a podcast all about marketing. We're talking about podcasting for marketing purposes. We're talking about SEO for marketing purposes, all with the intention of small business owners, small service-based business owners to really level up their marketing experience. And today we have a guest. This is one of our guest episodes, and I'm so excited to introduce you to Ann-Jerrica Artis. Okay, so Ann-Jerrica Artis is a massage therapist out of the Triad area of North Carolina. So the Greensboro, High Point, Winston-Salem area is where she typically serves, correct?
Correct.
Okay,
that
cool.
Is spreading right now.
I don't want to be whispering anybody's areas. So I can't wait for you to interact with her and hear her story and hear what she has to offer and why she even became a massage therapist. I want to tell you, before we even go down the rabbit hole, one of the first experiences that I have interacted with Ann-Jerrica on, as far as a professional, is I asked her, how do you prepare the people who are going to enter or get on your massage table if they have PTSD, if they're a veteran, if they have experienced some version of trauma? And there are so many other massage therapists that I've asked that question to who are kind of like, what do you mean? Would you just get on the table? I get it.
Wow.
However, walking into a dark room that has all the candles lit up, all the vibes are set, can be a little stark. It can be a little jarring for people. Me not being a veteran, me not experiencing PTSD, but a person that has studied human development and understands what it looks like and how you're curating an experience for your clients as a service provider. Her not registering any of that on her face was impeccable. And that's when I said, okay, we rock it right here. So welcome to Coffee Chats Podcast, Ann-Jerrica. We got the Tumblr. Yes, we have the Tumblr. So, Ann-Jerrica, can you start us off with where are you coming from as far as how did you get into massage therapy? How does one even decide, yeah, I'm going to do
that? I've always wanted to do healthcare. I really, really hate school. I love learning. I don't like the institution. So whatever I did, I knew it needed to be something where I would actually sit in class and learn something and not just feel like somebody was talking at me for an hour and a half. My mom and my sister, my dad have all had some form of muscle ache. My sister's had some spinal issues and sprained an ankle. My mom has carpal tunnel in her wrist and has for some years. So I started off helping them just random moments around the house. And then one day, my sister's like, you should do this for a living. And I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. Goes to college, gets my undergraduate in kinesiology, which is the study of movement. And then when I graduated, 2020, hey, COVID, how you doing? Everything is shutting down. If you're not an essential worker, you're not going to work. Then I'm like, well, yeah, now's a good time to look into massage school. So I did. So I became a licensed massage therapist in 2021. I am now over 3 years in, and I love what I do because I get to help people heal and recover and give their bodies the breaks that they need that most people don't know that they need until they get a massage.
Yeah, that's so true. I remember one of the very first massages I received. I did not know that I had aches in certain spots until she touched that one spot, and I was like, what you doing? What's going on? So I'm glad that there are people like you that are doing the work, and you do it with such a joyfulness, and you can tell that you're really committed to your craft. Very
I
committed to
love
your
it.
craft.
Yeah.
So, what are some misconceptions that people have about the massage therapy industry, about the work that you do? What do people normally come into your office saying?
I think two of the biggest ones is people that come in expecting for me to talk the whole session. While there are massage therapists who will talk a whole session, and I do talk to some of my clients most of the session, I'm gonna let you lead. So if you get quiet and I think you about to doze off or you just entering la la land, you go right on ahead. I will see you at the end. We can chat when your massage is over. The other one is just people thinking or being uncomfortable with being undressed. Because how often do you go somewhere in a relaxed setting? Doctor's offices are not considered relaxed for most people. Massage
Mhm.
is a little more relaxing, right? How often do you go into a relaxed setting and you're like, okay, so I'm just going to take my clothes off and lay down
Right.
completely exposed to this human? Because even though I have guidelines and ethics and boundaries, not all massage therapists do, right? That's why we have the issues we have with other companies and facilities where you have more concerns with those things. So it gets really interesting when people come in and they're like, so I'm going to be undressing to what level? Your comfort
Mhm.
level. I do have women who don't feel comfortable taking their bras off. I do have men who prefer to keep their t-shirts on. If you're comfortable, we're going to work around it because there will be a point where you're like, okay, I'm safe here. Then we can work skin to skin if that's what you want to do. But my
Yeah.
ethics, my boundaries, my guidelines tell me that certain parts of your body are covered no matter what we're doing because that is a safety concern for my client.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that. So, how do you mitigate that? How do you prepare somebody for what does that conversation even look like ahead of time?
So we have a script that is essentially, let's see if I can remember the script. So I'm gonna have you start face down, laying on your stomach with your face in the cradle. I'm gonna show them that they're getting in between the sheets. And then I'm gonna say, and when you undress, undress to your level of comfort. For some people, that's keeping their bra or their underwear on. When I say underwear, I motion to my hip line because let's be clear, there's different levels of underwear. And then it's if you want to keep that on, we're going to work around it because I can give you a great massage with that shirt on, and I can give you a great massage with your shirt off. It changes my techniques, but it doesn't change the fact that you're relaxed and you get the benefits you were looking for when you came into the session.
Yeah. Good.
But yeah, it's really
Good.
that simple. I do have a couple clients that have more follow up questions, but in that same breath, most people, especially my female clients that have had kids, are just like, whatever, do what you want.
Yeah. Especially when you walk through that whole script, it kind of gives them a place of I can ease, I can chill out. She's used to this. It's like the doctor, they're used to seeing all this stuff, even though some some of us might still ladder them about a couple of different things.
Yeah.
Um, at some point the truth comes out and then you're able to tell maybe they're not comfortable with that. Are you not comfortable with that? Let's adjust.
And I've had clients that'll say, hey, I'm not actually comfortable with this, specifically foot feet, either because they're ticklish or they just really don't like people touching their feet. And if you say that,
Mhm.
cool. We're not going to work that area. How do you feel about compression through the blanket on your feet? Most people are more comfortable with that than me working directly on their feet or right over their socks. But there's always a way to adjust to make sure that you're good.
So massage is normally considered luxury. People normally say, I'm going to get this as a gift for other people, myself
Yeah.
included. However, you mentioned in one of the many conversations that we've had that it's actually something that on some of the health insurance people can include it in their plan, but then also it's a health benefit. It's truly a health thing that people need to recognize as such.
Yes. You don't realize how much tension you hold on a daily basis until you get a massage. And then you wonder, well, how did I live with all of that in my body? Because for the next 2 to 3 weeks, maybe a month, possibly longer, you feel great. And then all of a sudden you feel it return and you're like, oh, I need to be back.
Yes.
Massage, massage is scientifically proven to help lower blood pressure, reduce anxiety, aid in relaxation, and benefit your rest for people that are having a hard time sleeping at night. Um, it also works through some things depending on what area you're coming from for massage. So there is a school of thought for energy work and different areas of your body correlating to organs and how they function best. And then there's also just life stress. Everything isn't necessarily a physical problem. Um, Migraines aren't necessarily because your muscles are tight. Sometimes you're stressed. Sometimes you find out that you don't have enough sodium in your diet, which isn't most people's issues out here in this good old USA because we get way too much salt. Um, but, um, there's some things you just don't know about your body because we aren't taught those things. So having access to massage and being able to appreciate what helps you recover and ask the question. And I may not be the therapist to ask the question to, but I know therapists that focus more on holistic health and could give you suggestions for things to help with aches and pains, things to help with weight gain, hormonal balance, which is something massage can also support because your body is out of whack when you're stressed, when you aren't at your optimum level of operation. So if you're doing something to help your body get back to its best operating base, it benefits you all around.
All while laying on the table and doing nothing, potentially taking a
Mm-hmm.
nap.
And taking a nap. Drool if you need to. It's fine. I will tell you you didn't. Or if you really want to know, I'll tell you if you did. But you don't ever need to know if you drooled or snored. I'm going to be like, I don't know. Didn't hear you. Get the rest you need.
So, cause this is an interesting perspective because every other health person, not every, but a large set of health people who are in the health and wellness industry, because you would consider yourself in the health and wellness, right?
Absolutely.
Everyone else is always like, go running, go get in the gym, go work on your diet, all these other things. And that it seems like really your diet is a portion of that, of course, probably the number one portion. But then two, how do you slow down with your stress management? And massage seems like it's something that can influence that.
Yeah. Even the best athletes in the world have massage therapists. They work hard, they train hard, they diet, and they have someone, I won't say they all have massage therapists, but they have someone that helps them come back to center, rest and relax. Most have a meditative state massage. For some people, it's journaling. For some people, it's reading. But you have to give your body time to rest and recover because you aren't doing any good work in any phase of life or your body if you don't take time to rest and recover. And massage can be a great addition in that aspect.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I personally have seen I don't know about you, but as a business owner, I hold a lot of oh my gosh, I'm the one that has to make this happen, all the different pieces, and I hold all of that in my body. And sometimes I'm sitting there like, I don't know, so dang on tense. But even just stretching, just sleeping, literally sleeping, I had to put my little alarm on my Apple Watch to say, Tahjma, have you gotten your 7 hours of sleep? And I don't even know if that's the actual amount of hours I'm supposed to get. But
Yep.
I'm
Okay.
going with 7.
Okay. So what's funny is there's research that suggests that women need more sleep than men. So I think most people are pretty aware that all of the research up into a certain point in history, by a certain point, I really mean like early 2000s, the largest majority of that was based on men.
Mm-hmm.
And women's health is different because our bodies function on a different schedule than men's bodies do. Men run on 24 hours. We run on a cycle that is 28 to 32 days. And there are different cycles within that time frame. So our bodies also require rest at a different level. But if 7 works for you and you wake up and you feel rejuvenated, I'm gonna mind my business. Me, on the other hand, sometimes 7 is enough. I have functioned on 5 before. That is not suggested. That's not healthy behavior, but I've done it.
Yeah.
But what I would say is minimum 7. I have slept for 9 hours before. I know some people are like, that's ridiculous. Mind your business. I woke up and functioned and did all the things I needed to do. And I wasn't tired and I didn't have a headache and I didn't feel like I was moving through mud because I got the rest my body needed for me to work at my best levels.
Yeah. 5 is like that 4 to 5 time period is like college hours.
Very much.
That was the
Very much.
entirety
You
of
could
my
not
college
catch me
experience.
doing that these days. I used to get up at 8 a.m. Well, I would get up at 7:30 for an 8 a.m. class. You got to get 10 minutes to get ready. You know what you're wearing before class. And then you run across campus, slow down, breathe, and then go into class, right?
Yeah.
And I would then go back to my dorm, take like a 2-hour nap. I said nap. I know some people call that sleep, but I call it a nap. And then I would finish the rest of my day because it'd be one class that I couldn't do any other time besides 8 a.m.
Yeah.
And then I would go to the library and stay until like 2 o'clock in the morning, maybe not being the most productive version of myself. And then have to get up again at 7:30 to do it all again. I don't miss those days at all.
Not at all. So what does your day
Mm-mm.
look like now as a business owner, as a massage therapist? When I hear you in passing, it's the 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. When I hear you in passing, it seems so fun and lackadaisical, but I know that's not the truth from service provider to service provider.
So it depends on the week. Life is in a little bit of a transition as everybody's life tends to be at some point.
Yeah.
So life is slightly more relaxed now than it has ever been before, unless I am back in Greensboro and working. So I'll tell you about my Greensboro days because those are more realistic for a massage therapist.
Sure.
Um, so Sunday is my day off. I do not take any clients on that day. Resting for at least one day is probably the best thing you can do for your body. So I'm trying to be consistent with that and doing something in the morning and then getting home and chilling. I am personally not a huge morning person. So my goal is to not have my first client until 9 a.m., 9:30, 10 o'clock. That lets me go to bed at 11, still get sleep until about 8, get up and get ready for my day, not feel rushed and not be exhausted. So with me owning my business, which I'm very grateful for, and my LLC, I get to choose my hours, which means I don't see more than typically 5 clients a day, and that still depends on what they're booking. So 5 clients a day looks like me seeing either 5 60-minute clients, which really means my day is about 7.5 hours because I have gaps to reset my room and get a snack. And I usually put like a 45-minute lunch break in there because you have to eat to work or else your body taps out.
Too loud. You're too
um,
loud.
You have to eat to survive, and that doesn't always mean fast food. Sometimes that means something with some healthy fats in it. My cheat for healthy fats is cashews because I know I'll eat them. Um, or plantain chips, even though I'm really not too sure how healthy they are. They make me happy. So it's my snack food. Um, so I have a client, I will take a 30-minute gap, which tends to be more of a 20-minute gap by the time my client has been checked out and we've rescheduled them. Then I will go in the room, sanitize the face cradles, the door handles, the oil and lotion bottles that I've used that day. If I've used any stones or other tools, hot stones, or any other tools, I'll take that time to clean those up and make sure those are sanitized because we don't like germs out here. We want you to be healthy and clean, and I'm going to do the best I can to facilitate that in the office. And then after I've done all the cleaning and the reset, I come back in and I get my client set, reset the sheets. I also have an air sanitizer and a fabric sanitizer. It's cold and flu season. I'm taking no chances with the germs right now.
Smart.
So wiped everything down.
Smart. So tell me, what kind of people end up coming to see you? What's like your ideal person? Or as far as client goes?
I don't know if I have a true ideal. My typical age range from my clients is somewhere between 25 and 70. And that's not because I necessarily have a cutoff. That's just the people that are typically taking their health more seriously or know what massage is to choose to find someone. I work with men, I work with women. I do not work with teens because minors can't consent. And there are massage therapists that work with teens. There are massage therapists that focus on pediatric massage, which is massage for children. I'm just not one of them. But I do have some amazing people in my network that I can refer you to if that's what you're looking for. Men, women, your grandmother, your auntie, your cousin. I've met some amazing people that feel more like family now than they do clients just because they're regulars, and so we get to catch up online.
You kind of have to. When you're
Yes.
that intimate with them.
Yeah, I do have people that come in and go to sleep, and I know no more about their life than their name and maybe the name of their kid and what they do for work. I have those clients. I also have clients where I could give you a piece of their life story. You just ask for it. Never would. I'm not allowed to discuss my clients outside of the client's time with me, but I could.
What trends in your industry are you seeing? So, for
This is
example,
great.
for me, it's the definition of whenever I'm helping somebody with their search engine optimization stuff, I have to be very specific on how they are defining who and what they are working with. So, for example, there's a virtual assistant agency that I work with where we found out that virtual assistant has a completely different definition now. People are now thinking of it as AI instead of I'm a human person at a laptop doing the work for you.
Yeah,
Which is
which is
dramatically
sad.
changing the way that they talk about their business.
Yeah. Not gonna lie to you. I don't know that I am that in touch with the industry itself. Answer that question. I am seeing maybe I'm seeing more people that are younger coming in before they have the aches and pains where their doctors tell them massage is helpful. And I don't know if that's because doctors are now appreciating massage therapy as a legitimate healthcare option, or if these are just people getting on the internet like, what can I do fun this week? And they see massage and they're like, that sounds interesting. Let's try something new. But I don't think that massage is any longer a well kept secret. I think for a very long time, massage was, as you said earlier, a luxury. It was for rich women, sometimes men that were most likely retired or had investment portfolios that were insane. Right now, I'm seeing people that just graduated college come in for massage because they've got a migraine and they've had it for a little while, and somebody told them massage could be helpful.
Mm.
And that is amazing because taking care of your body sooner helps prevent more issues down the line.
Yeah, that is super transformational. Now, sometimes I find myself knee deep in the TikTok rabbit hole, and I am also seeing people who are younger, like 20, 25, somewhere in the 20s age, where we're all wanting this whole stay at home vibe, we're wanting to cultivate things sooner in our life than what we saw perhaps our parents or grandparents do for themselves. So I think it's a good thing. Our generation is caring a little bit more about our health, our body, in a way that we previously had not been taught, probably. So it's cool to see that impact your business and how people are engaging with you or seeking your services out. Now, a question that has been ringing in my head. So I've done massage therapy as a client. Have you ever heard of those facilities where it's somebody who's professionally stretching you, like they're stretchers? I don't
Yeah,
know.
stretch zone.
Yes,
That's a
yes.
thing. It is the
Mm-hmm.
best thing for
It
some
is
people.
so good.
Yeah.
It is so good. So, what is the difference between physical therapy, massage therapy, and whatever they call the people that are stretching you out?
In simple answer, it is the amount of education they have. So
Mm,
in stretch zone, and that's not to say anything bad for any profession.
sure.
Typically, if you're seeing a physical therapist or a PT, you are seeing someone who has somewhere between 4 to 8 years of education, and those are numbers from when I was in college. So they may be up at 10 years of education possibly by now. I truly do not know. For massage therapy, the program is usually somewhere between 10 months to a year and a half.
Okay.
And depending on what state you're in, dictates the number of hours that you are required in your program. In North Carolina, when I became a licensed massage therapist, the program that I attended, I believe, was 650 hours. But there are programs that have more. There are also some programs who have less. Um, but that can be an interesting mix because there's so much to learn about the body, from skin conditions to respiratory conditions to heart conditions, because all of the things that we're doing in our session could affect your skin because I'm touching it. They could affect your heart rate. They could
Right.
affect your blood pressure, things like that. And then from my understanding, I am not a professional. I don't know what they got going on. Um, the stretch zone, um, and I'm using stretch zone. I know there are more than just stretch zone.
Yeah.
But that's the one I have in my head. So they actually go through training in school. While some of them are personal trainers, also PT. We love how the health industry just brings all these terms together.
Mm.
Um, Most of those people are, to my knowledge, coming into the job and receiving on the job training to be able to adequately do stretches that are within your range of motion that do not hurt. Those are the two biggest things that they're kind of looking at. Because everybody can't bring their arm up and drop it over their head. Some
Sure.
people, their shoulders don't have that range of motion. And you have to be aware of that so that you don't cause injury. If, but one thing that all of these professions have in common is do no harm. So whatever we're doing, we're making sure that our clients are comfortable, safe, and to some degree enjoying what they're experiencing. I think that's a little more the theme of stretching facilities and massage. PT can be a little more intense, but the benefit is absolutely there.
Yeah. How do you know where to start between the three options? What ache would you need to have in order to know, oh, I need to go to a massage person versus a physical therapist?
So I will say anyone that does not have any serious medical conditions, schedule with a massage therapist. Tell them what ache. Ask them if they have any stretches or anything that can help you relieve that muscle or relax just in general. Um, there is an intake process for all of those things,
Mhm.
whether you're going to a stretch space, you're doing massage, or you're doing physical therapy. So you can call and talk to somebody and say, hey, this is what I have going on. I'd really love to address that issue. Where should we start? Um, Most of the time, that person will then ask you a few follow up questions to see if you're a good fit for either them or their facility. And if you are terrified, like if you're just unsure, call your doctor. You have a primary care physician for the reason of caring for your body. Like that is who you call if all this fails. Um, Certain medical conditions do limit the ability for massage therapy. Just because I don't want to cause any more harm or put you in a position where your body would respond negatively to the treatment.
Sure.
And the same can be said for stretch therapy, which is what it is. Everything that you do, nothing should hurt. Physical therapy there and massage therapy, probably stretch therapy as well, have this thing that we call therapeutic discomfort. So it's the, ooh, that hurts so good. As long as we are still in the hurt so good range, you're good. But you should never be in pain. There's a very big difference. There's a difference in, that feels interesting, but it feels good. And ouch, that hurts. Please stop. And if you ever experience pain, you need to speak up. I don't care which facility you're in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So essentially, either get in touch with your physical therapist and they can, not your primary care physician, and they can
Mm-hmm.
steer you in the correct direction.
Yes.
Or you can take the route of starting with a massage therapist, and they will be able to tell you what's in their capacity, what your body needs, and refer you to other people if necessary.
So I, as a massage therapist, North Carolina massage therapist cannot refer you to anyone.
Ooh.
If that is not my job.
Okay.
However, if I see something that is outside my scope of practice, which is outside of the ability to impact muscles, because massage works with muscle and soft tissue. If I see something that is maybe, because this is the biggest concern we have as massage therapists, is if we see discoloration on your skin, like moles or bruises that, especially for more regular clients that aren't getting better, I would say,
Sure.
hey, contact your primary care physician. I do have some clients who have had skin cancer before. So we kind of keep an eye on the marks on their body and if they're changing, growing, shrinking. So I can say, hey, just wanted to let you know I've observed that this change is happening on this mark. And that is the, hey, let's schedule an appointment with our doctor or our dermatologist. Um, I personally will never refer you to anyone except for your primary care physician because that's what you have them for. And then they'll tell you if you need to see somebody else or if it's no big deal and it's something that give it 3 to 6 weeks and it'll probably. Um, your physical therapist, however, can refer you because physical therapists are doctors. They went to school,
Okay.
physical therapy doctorate. So they may be able to refer you. Um, but your primary care is typically the one that's going to refer you.
Yeah. Okay. I like how it seems like you have a partner in evaluating what's going on with your body. Because again, massage therapists, you're knowing somebody quite intimately. And if you don't notice, they probably will notice, which sounds like the benefit would be to kind of shop around the same way you would with a mental health therapist, shop around for the right person that you click with and then stick with them for a while because they're going to, it's not just a fancy, oh, I feel good kind of vibe. I don't have that stress in my shoulders anymore. Is that in addition to, can we mitigate some of the pain that I can see you potentially having? Can we mitigate some of what is this discoloration? What is this mole? All of that in ways that maybe your parents knew you, that they don't have the fortunate opportunity to know you in that way anymore. So you have another partner, is what I'm hearing at least.
Yeah. Especially now, I will say massage therapists are absolutely like mental health therapy. If somebody does not fit with you, if they make you feel weird, which they shouldn't be, so if you're uncomfortable, you are more than welcome to report someone to the board, even if that's me. Do that immediately, okay? But that said, you should absolutely be able to partner with them if you have a concern. If something's been hurting for 3 months, you finally decide to see a massage therapist and it starts to ease off, but it's not totally gone. You may want to be more consistent, but you absolutely have a partner in your health journey. There's some questions I can't answer because I'm not a doctor. I'm a massage therapist, but I can absolutely tell you that that is something you should probably talk to your doctor about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because there's so many different conditions that our bodies go through in life. And so having someone that has a little bit of an understanding that can direct you back toward help. Because I know a lot of us, like me, myself, and I, have rolled an ankle and been like, I'm not going to the doctor. They're going to tell me to ice it.
Right.
Well, maybe your massage therapist will look at you and say, and it's been bothering for how long? Because there's a limit on how long you should be in pain before you go see someone to make sure it's not a more severe injury. But
All
if you
right,
stubborn
Ann-Jerrica.
like me,
Like
if you
us.
stubborn like me, you might not go to the doctor. Having your massage therapist know your ankle started hurting 3 weeks ago. Well, actually, 3 weeks is not the number most doctors give. So I'll say 8 weeks ago. Your
Mm-hmm.
ankle started hurting 8 weeks ago. You have no relief. It's getting worse. You probably should have went 2 or 3 weeks before I'm saying this, but go to your doctor because pain is a sign of dysfunction. I don't care what hurts. It's if it's hurting for more than a few days to a few weeks, depending on the injury.
Mm-hmm.
See, I didn't name anything specific because you should probably see a doctor about whatever that thing is you thought I was going to answer the question for. But most conditions, you have a few days to a few weeks. Once you hit that 5 week mark, 6 weeks, it still hurts. You're getting to the point where you really need to be checking in. Because if it's not getting better, it's probably going to keep getting worse.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Ann-Jerrica, you're in my business.
I love you so much. I didn't even
um,
know I was in your business. That's what makes it better.
yeah,
We're
essentially.
going to talk after this.
So, one of the final questions before we get to our faith note that I want to ask is what, as a business owner, regardless of what you're practicing, what's top of mind for you for this year? We're at the beginning of the year. What feels the most pressing? What do you really want to accomplish in 2025?
Oh, 2025 is for consistent communication and reaching out to clients. I let last year
Mm.
float, and the clients that contacted me were the clients that I spoke to. But I have some amazing clients that I built relationships with that I haven't spoken to. And it's not because I don't care just because I get busy and then I don't take the time to reach out to people. Um, so building client relations, and I said this last year, but I'm gonna say it again because I didn't do as well as I wanted to, even though I did improve. It's social media, because social media and marketing, because if people don't know you exist, they can't come to you for help.
Right. Which is even more unfortunate when you are the person that I would say you're probably, and I'm a little biased here, but I would say you're probably the most qualified and nurturing person that I have met that does massage therapy that I've interacted with. And I've interacted with just under 10 different people, right? And it's the people that are putting themselves out there that are consistently getting the offers, whether that's business or relationship or community, whatever that looks like, it's those people. So I applaud you for putting that back at the top of your list.
Yeah.
This is one of those ways that we're going to do that together, because I'm rocking with you 100%.
Yeah.
And it seems like community is something that is ringing so loud for everybody, especially in the business community or business space, but then in general. Now, marketing folks, unfortunately, we have started to commodify what it means to establish a community, and we say podcast followers or podcast subscribers or email subscribers are our community. But how do you actually nurture one-to-one this person? Because people buy from individuals and people that they know, like, and trust, not the brand itself. So I applaud you. Let me know how I can help you in all of those things that you have set up for this year. Will you take us out with a faith note?
Okay, so my faith note is going to be a small piece of one of my favorite scriptures.
Okay.
So it's First Corinthians 13:8. It says, "Love never fails, but as for prophecies, they will pass away. As for tongues, they will cease. As for the gift of speaking knowledge, it will pass away." Um, because in the world we are now living in, um, it is really easy to choose to be cruel and unkind to people, but it really doesn't matter what you're doing if you don't do it without love. Um, I'm very blessed to be a part of a church. Can I shameless plug my church?
Sure.
I'm doing it anyway. um, Harvest City Church, GSO. I am very grateful to be a part of a church that shows love before they do anything else. Before they correct you, before they try to put you into a position, or before they ask you to do anything to serve the church, you walk in and you feel love.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that most people that have been to our church would agree to that. Um, but all that said, if you don't show love, if you aren't walking in love, everything else you're doing, it loses some of its power. So remember to be kind and show love and be patient in this beautiful life we're living, because you never know what somebody else is going through and how your smile can change their day.
I love
That's my faith
that. Thank
moment.
you. Thank you. It takes a whole lot of faith and love to start a business and operate a business. And thank you for finishing us out on that note. There's a whole lot of love that goes into our work as service providers, because people don't have the opportunity to truly touch and feel what we're offering them. They just get the data later, or they just get the shoulders not aching so much later. And having a little nugget every single episode, every single day that keeps us going, keeps us fueled, is awesome. So what I receive from that is love what you do, and love it so much that you're giving first and then asking, because nobody likes to, hey, you want to buy my thing? Nurture the relationship, nurture people, nurture the community that you're actively trying to build, because that is how love shows up, especially with there's so much like you mentioned, there's so much going on in our world right now. So we'll need to keep adding salt to the wound.
No, we
All
do
right,
not.
y'all. Thank you so much, Ann-Jerrica, for being on Coffee Chats podcast. You've been listening to Coffee Chats with Tahjma VanBuren from iMoves Management, a marketing agency serving small business owners. This episode was written, hosted, produced, and edited by me, Tahjma VanBuren. If you want to learn more about anything you heard on the show, schedule your content or SEO audit, or get resources to take action on your marketing strategy for your small business, go to imovesmanagement.com. Thank you to our listeners for supporting the show. Bye.